Hi Team We Run, Coach Alexa here, coach for Reading, South Oxfordshire and the internet. It is really flipping cold again today. I've had to take off about 3 layers to display my t-shirt to film this video, and I'm going to be wrapping back up again as soon as it's finished. And it struck me, so I'm not just a running coach, I also am trained to do sports and remedial massage. And it's a time of year, particularly when we get these little cold snaps, where I see a bit of an uptick in people coming in with upper back and neck and shoulder tightness, soreness, etc. I did a fantastic running technique analysis session over the weekend, and partially because of just lifestyle, sat in front of the computer, typing, driving, everything, arms forward, shoulders forward, but also partially down to the cold weather. The runner I was working with had sort of lifted, rounded, tight shoulders. So I thought I'd talk about the link between the colder weather and where our shoulders sit. So there are 3 big factors that I see in terms of people's shoulder position. The first of which is lifestyle. So as I just touched on, a lot of us spend a lot of our time with our arms forward. We're typing on the computer, we're texting on our phones, we're driving. A lot of them are arms forward positions, and this tends to, over time, tighten and shorten the 2 pec muscles at the front, so our shoulders stay in this more rounded position even when we're relaxed, and it might lengthen and weaken the muscles in the upper back as well, as we tend to kind of default more towards this position. Part of it can also be down to stress. So I don't know about you, but quite a lot of people, myself included, hold less stress and tension in their shoulders. So I notice if I'm having a more busy day or I'm worried about something that's coming over the horizon, that seems to kind of make my shoulders creep up towards my ears and round forward a little bit. But the other additional factor, which can sometimes just kind of come in on top of 1 or 2 of those previous ones and play a little bit more havoc at this time of year, is the cold. So we have a tendency to almost kind of try and shrug down into our coats or jackets when we're outside, like a little turtle trying to retreat into its shell. And also we just tend to just get a little bit more sort of tense. Our muscles are tighter when we're colder. So we hold that tension a little bit more. And again, the shoulders just come up and forwards a little bit. So a couple of little tips for me, particularly running related to start with. I am a massive fan of a buff or a neck tube, something like this. So when I'm running, I will have one on. You can pull it up over your chin so you don't get as many drafts. You can, even if it's a particularly cold day, pull it up over your nose and face, and you'll find it sort of humidifies the air that you're breathing in a little bit. You can get much bigger neck tubes that I wear when I'm out walking the dog that are just a bit bigger and a bit warmer. Really, really useful. It just helps keep the upper back, the neck and the top of the shoulders warmer, and means that we're less likely to go into this sort of mode. Also, to be honest with you, I don't know about you, but my house is pretty cold at the moment. So I sit down, as well as a couple of extra layers that I mentioned I was wearing today. I've got one of these around my neck as well, so that even when I'm working at my computer, I've not got that additional cold factor kind of pulling those shoulders up and forwards. The other one is to maybe think about doing some stretching and warming up before you go out the door for a run. So if we can get our heart rate elevated, maybe get our blood flowing, get our muscles warm before we head out the door for a run, that kind of first 5 or 10 minutes that always feels a little bit colder will hopefully feel a little bit easier, and we're less likely to have the muscles kind of tensing up due to the cold. And while you're there doing the warm-up, you could do a couple of stretches to help loosen off these fronts of the shoulders. So the first one I will show you, I've got my hand on a little door frame that's just out of shot here. You want your wrist just about level with your eyes, and you just want to gently turn your body away from that arm, so you've got a nice stretch across both of the pec muscles here. That's a really, really lovely one to do. And the other one is really nice big backward arm circles. So just nice and slowly, particularly as your arms get to this 10 to 2 position, really lovely big backward arm circles to loosen off the muscles around the shoulders, particularly across the front of the chest that are pulling them forwards. And it's a nice way to do a little bit of a warm up before we head out for a training run as well. So give those a go, stay warm, enjoy your running, and let me know how you're getting on running in this cold weather. Happy running.